Good evening and thank you for joining us. We begin with breaking news. Bill Morneau is out as Canada's Finance Minister. Late today, Morneau resigned effective immediately, saying the time is right for someone else to take over the reins of the economy. There has been controversy surrounding the former Finance Minister with his ties to We Charity, and there has been tension between him and the Prime Minister. Of course, this is all happening in the middle of a pandemic and an economic crisis.
I had a constructive conversation with the Prime Minister this morning. We have always worked together over the course of the last 5 years in a way that recognized the importance of vigorous discussion and debate to get to the best policies for Canadians. I'm proud of what we've done over the last 5 years, working to make sure that we have a more inclusive economy, that we have a greener economy, and I know that work will continue.
Let's bring in our Ottawa Bureau Chief, Mercedes Stephenson. Mercedes, Bill Morneau insists he quit, but this seems sudden. And who quits in the middle of a pandemic? So was he forced out?
Well, that is the question, and it's pretty extraordinary when you think about it, Robin. We are in the middle of a massive financial crisis in this country, and at this moment, there is no finance minister. For a finance minister to suddenly decide to step down while he was citing his decision not to run in the next election, even though that election at this point is nowhere in sight, is very odd. On top of that, you have the events that you described surrounding this. You have the reports in the press of the public disagreements between the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister. And then you have the developments with the We Charity, which surprised the PMO and left the Prime Minister's office and the Prime Minister very angry. Those revelations that Bill Morneau's daughter was working there and that he, in fact, still had to pay back $41,000 for a trip he took with We. All of that was building to rumors that Morneau would not survive. Morneau insists it was his decision to tender his resignation to the Prime Minister this morning. But obviously, the timing on this is nothing short of extraordinary and highly unusual, given the typical desire would be for stability during this kind of a situation.
But Mercedes, the Prime Minister is also being investigated. There's an ethics investigation involving him when it comes to We Charity. So did Morneau take the fall for this?
Well, that's the question, is that folks thought he was going to take the fall. He insists that's not the case. But at the same time, there were certain omissions in his statements which implied that there was certainly a link to what happened with We. He didn't deny that that may have played a role. He said that there have been vigorous debates between he and the Prime Minister at times. But when you look at this and step back, it was very well choreographed by the Prime Minister's office and the Finance Minister to appear that he had tendered his resignation with the intention of going to run to be the Secretary General of the OECD, which is a plum post. So it appears Trudeau is still supporting him as he leaves his job. But it doesn't change the fact that the timing on this is all very odd, and that a lot of political sources thought that if Trudeau wanted to turn the page, to move forward, he may have to get rid of Morneau, and that they simply did not have the same financial vision for the country in terms of spending and in terms of the direction that they wanted Canada to go in.
As for the Prime Minister, he did issue a statement saying, "I have counted on his leadership, advice, and close friendship over the years, and I look forward to that continuing well into the future. Bill, you have my deepest gratitude, and I know you will continue making great contributions to our country and for Canadians in the years to come." And as you mentioned, the Prime Minister did add he supports Morneau's bid to seek the leadership of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. So who's going to step into the finance job?
Well, Robin, tonight, Global News can inform our viewers that we have learned it's not Mark Carney. There was a lot of speculation that that's who it was going to be. He, of course, is the very well-liked and charismatic former governor of the Bank of Canada, also former governor of the Bank of England. And there was rumors out there, which were then substantiated and found to be true, that the Prime Minister, in fact, had been talking to Mr. Carney and getting his advice. And people suggested that was a sign of his lack of confidence in Bill Morneau and perhaps a trial balloon going up to see if Carney would take over. It would be highly unusual to have an unelected finance minister. So in this case, we can tell you that a senior government source has told Global News Mark Carney is not in the running, and he is busy with the United Nations, not looking to take over. There was also speculation when Morneau stepped down as an MP as well as finance minister, it was making space for Carney. That doesn't appear to be what's going on, at least at this point. There's a couple of names on that list. Minister Duclos, someone who could move into that with a financial background. Chrystia Freeland, potentially. Canada has never had a female Minister of Finance, or Minister Champagne, who right now is serving in Foreign Affairs and has a strong finance background as well. We still don't know when. or who it's going to be. So we're in the highly unusual situation tonight of Canada having no finance minister.
Lots more to come tomorrow, I'm sure. As always, thanks for your insight. Mercedes Stephenson in Ottawa.